Hello everyone and welcome to Siriana Tarot. This is a singles new love reading for Leo. We're going to look at the kind of love you're ready to experience now based on the growth you've already done. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Leos, please. All right, your person could be a Virgo or have strong Virgo placements. They're a bit of an overthinker here with the Nine of Swords, maybe losing sleep over you. They're viewing you as the Judgment card, Aries, Scorpio energy. And the connection, we see the Six of Swords, all right? And we see the Nine of Wands. So I do feel like with triple nines coming through, pay attention to that angel number showing up for you around this connection. But I'm also seeing the Nine of Wands. This can be an indication of a past life soulmate connection. This person might be a little bit guarded and kind of in true Virgo fashion, not really showing a whole lot of emotion, but Virgos are actually quite tender beneath the surface. So again, this person might not be a Virgo sun, moon, or rising, but that's the energy that they're embodying. This is someone who I feel like is maybe a little bit of a lone wolf at times. They come off as a little bit guarded, but they also come off as very strong and confident, self-assured. This is someone who's enlightened and wise, spiritual. All right, and the Seven of Cups. This is someone who spends a lot of time fantasizing about you, wondering about you. Now, they may have a lot of people who are interested in them, but I kind of feel like they only have eyes for you. All right, and we see the Fool card. This is someone who may have Aries in their chart. They're resilient. They're up for a new adventure. I feel like they can be a risk taker, but they're a risk taker, Leo. But they take calculated risks. So I feel like this is somebody who, you'll go on a lot of little adventures with, whether it's exploring new restaurants around town or whether it's, traveling together, just trying and doing new things. Interestingly, I'm getting this person having a tattoo. I saw it, like they just showed me like a tattoo on their arm, maybe more than one. Of course, that's not going to be for all of you. And I feel like this is somebody who, they're grounded to a degree, but I also think that they're a dreamer, that this may be somebody who's creative or gets lost in thought. So they're definitely multifaceted, but with this like dreamy energy of the Fool and the Seven of Cups, they may not always come off as grounded as they actually are. Interesting message. How my Leos are going to be feeling the Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay, so I think you're going to be very physically attracted to this person, but you might be like, maybe they're not emotionally available, or maybe there's a strong physical connection, but I don't know about investing in this connection. All right, so you're definitely going to be physically attracted, but you are going to be hesitant when it comes to something more. All right, we see entrepreneur. Yeah, that makes sense with that Fool and the Seven of Cups. This is somebody who's not afraid to dream. They put their ideas to work for them. They work hard and they're investing in their future. That really does track with the Hermit and the Seven of Cups and the Fool card. It kind of pulls all of those energies together. Like they'll take risks, they dare to dream, but they also put in the work and the planning behind it. All right. We see that this person may have experienced loss or they're in a period of recovery. So a personal loss of some sort. Recovery for me also can be like they're recovering from like addictions and things like that. This person may love to travel or they enjoy new experiences, places, and people. I mean, that's the Fool energy. And they have great stories to tell about their travels, but I also feel like this is someone like you learn about that the more you get to know them. And we see Gemini energy, so they may have Gemini placements. Ruled by Mercury. They're the thinkers and communicators of the zodiac with many facets. And I do get that. I feel like this person is really multifaceted, but I don't feel like they necessarily come off that way when you first meet them. Now, I do think, Leo, this person is going to be losing sleep over you with the Nine of Swords. They may be somebody who has, you know, a proclivity or a tendency here to overthink. Maybe even sometimes get a little bit depressed is what I'm seeing. Now we see your ex. Now this doesn't have to be your ex. There might be things about your ex, about this person that remind you of your ex. There could be some connection to your ex as well. Like maybe they have the same birthday, or maybe they actually know each other or something like that. It does not, you know, because my intentions for these weekend singles new love readings, Leo, are always that it's somebody completely brand new. We see for some of you, this person may have gray hair, or maybe some gray hairs coming in. Again, a really specific message that's not going to resonate with all of my Leos out there, but it will be confirmation for some of you. And we see getting in touch. So some of you, this person may already have your details or your social media. Okay, and again, this person is going to try to, you know, in true Virgo fashion, they're going to play it kind of cool. Even if deep down they're like, yes, I want this now. I want to, you know, I want to get this party started with Leo. All right, so let's see. What else do we need to know about this person? All right, they're in chill mode, dating, weighing options, taking their time. Okay. We also see that they're sexy, they're attractive, they're irresistible. And they're educated, so they're articulate, they're well-rounded. They may or may not have college degrees. I mean, their education could also just come from, you know, personal and life experience. Okay, there's a lot to like about this person, Leo. What else do my Leos need to know about them? What else do my Leos need to know about this person? All right, they could be a fire sun sign. So we do see that really strong Aries coming through, and we see it coming through twice with the Fool and the Judgment card here. They may have dark hair. They called you the other night. So some of you, you might be in like contact with this person. Maybe you're just friends right now. Maybe you've been on a date or two. Okay, and that it's okay if you don't know who I'm talking about. And this person may have an imperfection in their speech. Now that could be the language you speak with them is not their native language, but it could also be like a small stutter or a slur. But we do get, Leo, that this person already knows who you are. So that's come through quite enough in this reading to be pretty clear that a lot of you, this person may already be around you. You might already be in communication with this person. You might have been on a few dates with this person. They could be a friend or a coworker or somebody you see out and about in the community. They're viewing you as the Judgment card. So I kind of feel like this person feels like the ball is in your court, Leo. Like you're going to be the one that ultimately decides. But the Judgment card also tells me that this person sees you as kind of better than all the rest. They see you as evolved. They see you as, you know, head and shoulders above the rest. High vibrational. All right, the Ten of Swords in reverse. This person might feel like for one or two of you, it is a healing connection or like a reconciliation. But I feel with this Ten of Swords in reverse, this person knows that you've been through hardship. They know that you've experienced personal loss. And they also see that you've come out of it. All right, not necessarily unscathed, but with grace and ease. And you're now in alignment. They trust you and they feel like you two are soulmates. Two of Cups. They feel like you two complement each other in really beautiful ways. And my Leos, you're gonna be feeling it. The Page of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. You're gonna be feeling the intimacy here. Your heart chakra is gonna be opening here to this person. It may not be initially, right? Initially, you might be like, yeah, that person's hot. You know, they're good looking. Okay, this could be something physical. But I feel like the more you get to know them, Leo, it's like the more you fall in love with this person, okay? And the more they feel like home. So what this person really notices about you, Leo, is the student archetype. So you're humble and devoted to knowledge and an openness to lifelong learning. I do feel like you two are going to take little adventures, learn things together, whether it's taking a cooking class, you know, taking a trip, you know, learning about history of another part of the city you live in or something like that. And we see goddess energy. Wow. So this person definitely holds you in high regard, Leo. Whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. We all have masculine and feminine energies, but the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. All right. And don't let it go to your head, Leo. I know I've said this before, but look, they're seeing you as God and goddess archetypes. So benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. Ooh, all right. So the Six of Swords tells me that this is going to be a connection that it's going to be easy to fall in love with each other, even if you're hesitant at first. The Six of Swords also tells me this is a connection that's going to bring you ease, nervous system ease, emotional safety. Okay. And we see here that this connection enters during a shift in your life. So movement and change create space for alignment. Now that could be for you, that could be for them. There's definitely movement in that Six of Swords. Okay. This connection helps you discern resonance from projection. So this is going to help you recognize alignment. And I do think that you're going to sense the alignment here within this connection. And you're going to also understand why other connections didn't feel this way or didn't even work out. All right, and we see learning through contrast. So you two may not be exactly the same, and this connection highlights differences that invite understanding. But growth comes from awareness, and you two learn from your differences. But you both are really open to learning. Like, I'm not getting either one of you as like really judgmental. You're both excited about the differences in your experiences or your backgrounds. And yeah, this is what I was picking up on from the Six of Swords here, Leo, that this connection supports softness, trust, and nervous system ease. It deepens where you feel safe to be fully yourself. So we see emotional safety here. Beautiful. All right, what else do my Leos need to know? What else do my Leos need to know? All right, so we see friend zoned, a lack of passion in this companionship. I don't see that at all, but you might be introduced through friends. You might be attracted to this person, but not sure exactly how they feel about you, or you might spend some time like being friends first before this connection moves forward. Yeah, because then look at this, we get bonding. As you get to know each other, you discover many things in common. So you may think this person isn't really your type, or you couldn't see yourself being in a relationship with this person until, that is, of course, you start unpacking them and vice versa. All right, and we see soulmate, you have found your romantic counterpart. And we also see let go of the past here, Leo, clear your energy to allow more love into your life. Okay, so good advice there. It's always good to focus on healing. All right, let's see. What else do we need to know? And letting go of things that no longer serve you. All right, Leo, so important dates and times here. We have March, so that could be Aries, Pisces energy, but you will hear news soon. All right, my lovely Leos, I'm going to leave it here, sending you love and light. Take care.